My name's Eloise. I'm training parkour with the City Spankers in Guangzhou. Something happened at training last week that got me pretty angry and upset about all of the issues that a lot of parkour women have to face when they're training. So I decided to make this video to try and communicate to the really awesome guys that I train with some of these issues. So, there are many different obstacles you might face when training parkour. High walls, railings, physical strength, of course, but there are other ones too, like self-confidence, fear, a need for creativity, self-motivation. If you're a woman, though, there are a few more obstacles you can add to the list. Number 1, parkour is a male-dominated discipline. The absence of parkour women is intimidating to many women who want to begin. Men and women have different physical strengths and cognitive tendencies. When either party doesn't understand this, it leads parkour women to feel inferior or weak. 2, the masculinization of parkour in the mass media. Gender roles discourage women from practicing any sport or discipline viewed as extreme or male-orientated by society. 3, you'll be most likely starting off with less body strength than everyone else because, number 4, there's an expectation in society for women to not look muscly and to not be strong. Number 5, there are very few female role models in the parkour community to inspire or challenge you. Unfortunately, the list doesn't stop there. Once a woman gets past these first obstacles, there are still more to face every single time you train. Some examples of things that happen to me and other parkour girls. 6, you will always be reminded that you're a girl, as if it's something to do with training parkour. 7, even when training parkour, you still have to deal with the everyday sexualization of the female body. 8, I'm often told to be careful when training, by guys who do the same thing as me, twice as fast and 10 times as careless. It makes me feel like everyone thinks I'm not capable or strong. Number 9, it will be expected that you're not strong until you prove otherwise. This can really affect your motivation to get stronger. When I first started and saw parkour guys do anything, I never felt challenged to have a go, because they were guys and I wasn't expected to be as good as them. 10, too much advice. I've had people who just turned up to training, who don't even know my name, let alone how I train or my skill level, give me advice. I've had people repeating advice that they gave to me last time they gave advice. I've had multiple different people come up to me to give me advice on the same thing on the same day. I've had people give me advice on things I wasn't even training and then stop and watch to see me do it. And the most annoying of them all is number 11. Guys hitting on you under the guise of giving you parkour advice. This happens a lot. So what's wrong with giving advice? Maybe the person is training something that isn't obvious, like a mental obstacle, not a physical one. Maybe the person already knows what you're telling them, it's just that their body can't do it yet. Maybe they just want to train on their own and work it out for themselves. Most girls don't need or want advice to the extent it's offered. Getting advice can be awesome. I really appreciate what the parkour community has taught me both here in Guangzhou and back in Australia. But when it's happening constantly and from all angles, it feels like you never have a chance to train. Over 2 years of being interrupted by men while training, I started blocking out all advice. This meant that even when someone had useful advice for me, I would most likely reject it. And I was also really self-conscious when training, because I knew that if my jumps didn't look perfect, I would have to put up with some guy come and give me advice that I didn't want. Sometimes when I go out to train, I end up having a guy practically babysit me, watching everything I do and giving me advice on everything. So all of these things can make training uncomfortable, unpleasant, alienating, and even the most passionate female practitioner can be overcome by it. What can you do to make training more awesome? Number 1, think twice before giving advice. If someone is training away from the group, has headphones in, or doesn't acknowledge you when you approach, then they might be wanting to train alone. Number 2, you can ask before you give advice. You can let someone know you're happy to teach them and then walk away. If they want advice, they'll come to you. Number 3, don't know what to say to her? Introduce yourself. It sucks having guys hit on you because you turn up to training, but it sucks even more having no one talk to you because you're a girl and everyone treats you like an alien. Introducing yourself or just saying hi will make any new person feel welcome and more likely to come back. 4, never group people based on their gender. Phrases like, if the girls can't do this, or that's good for a girl, or sayings like man up or labels like girl push-ups reinforce the idea that women should not be strong and are not expected to strong. It also further reinforces the feeling that they're different to everyone else at parkour. Number 5, have high expectations of women because they can be just as amazing as men when it comes to the art of movement.